Every morning at precisely 7:03 a.m., billionaire CEO Adam Whitlock took the same narrow side street, one that made absolutely no sense for a man with his wealth, schedule, and reputation. It delayed his commute. It frustrated his driver. It confused his security team. And yet, Adam refused to change the route. Because at 7:05 a.m., like clockwork, she appeared. Lila Bennett. The girl with the quiet smile that could stop time, soften storms, and, for reasons he'd never admit, bring peace to the most powerful man in the city. She didn't know him. She didn't know that he rerouted his entire morning just to catch a glimpse of her. She didn't know she'd become his favorite part of every day. And she definitely didn't know that soon, that simple smile would pull him into a web of danger, secrets, and a truth about her family that would change both of their lives forever. Because the morning he finally spoke to her was the morning everything went wrong. And the moment she looked into his eyes for the first time, Adam realized something terrifying. He'd take that route for the rest of his life, not just to see her smile, but to protect it. Before we dive into the gripping details of this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more thrilling stories. Every morning, just as the pink edge of dawn slipped across the city, Adam Whitlock left his penthouse and stepped into a world that believed it already knew him. Billionaire. Tycoon. Heir to the Whitlock empire. The news called him the Golden King of Manhattan. But not one headline mentioned the reason he woke up early. The reason he took the same winding route through the city every single day. Lila Bennett. She worked at a tiny corner bakery squeezed between two towering office buildings. Most people passed it without noticing, but Adam noticed. He noticed the first time he'd nearly walked in by accident, wanting coffee but struck instead by the sight of her through the window. Flour on her cheek. A loose curl falling from her bun. A smile so warm it thawed parts of him he'd forgotten were frozen. He became a regular before she ever knew his name. "Good morning," she would say, offering a muffin she'd claim was a new experiment. He bought every single one. And every morning, he left with something sweeter than pastries, her laughter lingering like a heartbeat. What Lila didn't know was that Adam had never repeated a daily route in his life. Not until her. Weeks passed. The months. Lila began saving a muffin for him before he arrived. She still didn't know he was a billionaire, not that it mattered to her. To talk to him like a friend. A real one. Maybe even something more. One morning, after building enough courage to rival any boardroom battle, Adam stepped into the bakery prepared, finally, to tell her the truth, who he was, what he felt, and why he kept showing up. But she wasn't behind the counter. Instead, the bakery was quiet, too quiet. An elderly woman looked up from wiping a table. "Are you looking for Lila?" His heart kicked. "Yes. Is she all right?" The woman hesitated. "I'm not sure. She didn't open the shop today. She left a note for me, but..." Her voice trailed off. Adam's pulse hammered. A note. She reached into her apron, unfolding a small piece of paper. "I'm sorry. I have to go back home for a while. I didn't want to worry anyone. I'll explain soon." Lila. Where was home? Why leave without saying goodbye? Before he could ask anything more, the bell over the door jingled. Adam turned, expecting a stranger. But there she was. Lila. Windblown. Breathless. Eyes red as if she'd run the whole way. "Adam," she whispered, startled to find him there. "Lila, what's going on? Are you all right?" She opened her mouth to speak, but then a tall man stepped in behind her, placing a protective hand on her shoulder. "Lila," the man said firmly, eyes narrowing at Adam, "we don't have much time. He's already looking for you." Adam froze. "Looking for her?" And Lila, voice trembling, said the words that shattered the morning. "Adam, I'm in danger. And if you stay near me, you might be too." Adam's breath caught in his chest, not from fear, but from the look in Lila's eyes. A look that begged him to step back, yet pleaded silently for him not to leave her. The man beside her, broad-shouldered, tense, and very obviously on edge, kept glancing over his shoulder as if expecting someone to burst through the door. Adam's instincts sharpened. "Lila," he said gently, taking a small step forward, "please tell me what's going on." She looked torn, her hands twisting nervously in front of her. I didn't want you involved in any of this. Involved in what? Adam asked. Before she could respond, the stranger cut in. We shouldn't talk here. Adam kept his eyes on Lila. Who is he? My brother, she whispered. Matthew. Adam's shoulders relaxed, only for a second, before Matthew's next words made the bakery feel suddenly too small. We have to leave. Now. Lila swallowed hard and finally met Adam's gaze fully. I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to touch your life. Adam stepped closer, refusing to let fear or confusion push him away. Lila, listen to me. Whatever this is, you don't have to face it alone. Matthew huffed impatiently. You don't understand. Someone dangerous is looking for her. If he finds out she's been talking to you, especially someone with your status, things could get worse. Lila's cheeks flushed with guilt. So she knew, Adam realized. She knew he was wealthy. She knew who he really was, and she had never treated him any differently. But the fear in her eyes wasn't for herself. It was for him. Adam, she whispered, you've been the brightest part of my mornings. But this is bigger than us. I need to disappear before I drag you into something you don't deserve. He shook his head. I deserve the truth. And I deserve the chance to help you. Her lips trembled, as if fighting every instinct to tell him everything. But then, bang! A loud crash echoed from outside, the sound of a car door slamming violently. Matthew stiffened. He's here, he muttered. Adam's pulse spiked. Who? Lila grabbed his hand, her fingers trembling. Adam, please, she begged. Whatever you do, don't come after me. Before he could respond, Matthew pulled her toward the back exit. Wait, Lila. Adam called, reaching out. She turned one last time, her eyes full, fear, regret, something deeper. I'm sorry, she whispered. And then she was gone. The bakery went silent. Adam stood frozen, heart pounding as footsteps and hurried voices echoed down the alley. He took a single breath. Then another. He'd spent months taking the same route every morning just to see her smile. There was no universe in which he would let her disappear now. Adam strode to the counter, grabbed the note she'd left behind, and slipped it into his pocket. He didn't know who was chasing Lila. He didn't know what danger she was in. But he knew one thing with absolute certainty. He was going after her, even if it meant stepping into a world far darker than his own. Adam locked the bakery door behind him, adrenaline fueling every step. The alley was empty now, except for the faint echo of hurried footsteps fading into the city's hum. He glanced down the narrow path, left or right. Which way had they gone? He wasn't a detective. He wasn't a bodyguard. He wasn't trained for danger. But he was determined. He pulled out the note Lila had left earlier, as if it might reveal more on a second reading. It didn't. But the shaky handwriting told him enough. She hadn't wanted to leave. Whatever or whoever was forcing her hand had pushed her to panic. He stepped onto the sidewalk and flagged down a passing driver from his security detail, who happened to be circling the block. Sir, the guard said, surprised. You weren't supposed to be out front today. Not now, Mark. Adam cut him off. They went this way. Follow the alley. Keep distance. Mark nodded immediately, sensing the urgency. As the car crawled forward, Adam's mind raced. Lila trusted him enough to save muffins for him. To tease him about his terrible pastry preferences. To smile like he made her mornings as much as she made his. She didn't run because she didn't care. She ran because she cared too much. And that thought tightened something deep in his chest. Meanwhile, Lila stumbled as Matthew practically dragged her down the narrow side street. Matt, slow down, she gasped. No, Matthew said firmly. You said goodbye to the bakery. That was risky enough. If he catches you... Lila stopped dead in her tracks. I wasn't going to leave without seeing Adam one last time. Matthew turned, frustration flashing in his eyes. Lila, he's a billionaire. The kind people notice. If the wrong man sees him near you... Lila shook her head. Adam didn't ask for this. No, Matthew said quietly, but he's part of it now. Lila's heart squeezed painfully. She didn't want Adam anywhere near the man hunting her. She didn't want him hurt, or dragged into the nightmare she left behind when she moved to the city. But before she could answer, Matthew froze. "Get back," he whispered. Lila's pulse spiked. She followed his gaze, and her stomach dropped. A dark sedan idled at the end of the street. The very one she feared. The one she'd hoped never to see again. The driver's window rolled down slowly. A familiar voice called out, "Lila, it's time to come home." Lila's knees buckled. Not him. Not now. Matthew stepped protectively in front of her. "Stay back." The man in the car chuckled, low and cold. "You always were the dramatic one, Matthew." Lila tried to shrink behind her brother, but the man's eyes had already locked onto hers. "I warned you," he said softly. "Running only makes it worse." A shiver ran through her. The city suddenly felt too small. No escape. Back to Adam. The moment Adam saw the black sedan at the far end of the narrow street, his gut twisted. He signaled Mark to stop the car and slipped out quietly. He didn't know who the man was. He didn't know why Lila was running. But when he saw her standing frozen, fear tightening every part of her posture, something inside Adam snapped into place. This wasn't just about a smile anymore. He stepped forward, voice steady but firm. "Lila!" Her head whipped around, hope bursting across her face, quickly followed by terror. "Adam, no. Go," she pleaded. But Adam didn't move back. The man in the sedan slowly turned his gaze toward Adam, and smiled as if recognizing him. "Well," the man said calmly, "if it isn't Manhattan's favorite billionaire." Adam's blood iced. He knew Adam. He expected Adam. And that meant this was no ordinary threat. The man leaned forward, resting his elbow on the window frame. "You've been visiting my niece every morning," he said. Lila's breath hitched. Adam's eyes widened. "Niece?" Before Adam could respond, the man continued with a chilling finality. "And now, Mr. Whitlock, you've given me a very useful bargaining chip." Lila clasped her hands over her mouth. Adam took a single step closer, protective, brave, unflinching. "What exactly," he asked quietly, "do you want with Lila?" The man's smile widened. "Oh," he said, "you'll find out soon." The air tightened around them, thick and unmoving. Lila felt her pulse thundering in her ears as Adam stepped between her and the sedan, placing himself squarely in danger without hesitation. Her uncle's eyes glittered, amused. "How noble," he said, resting his chin on his hand. "Whitlock men always did enjoy playing hero." Adam stiffened. "You know my family?" "Oh," the man said lightly, "intimately." Lila's grip tightened on Matthew's arm. She could see the fury building in her brother, the same fury that had driven them to leave their hometown. Matthew stepped forward. "We told you we wanted nothing to do with you anymore." Her uncle ignored him completely, his gaze fixed on Adam like a hunter studying new prey. "Tell me," he said smoothly, "does Adam know why you ran Lila? Does he know what your father owed me?" Lila's breath hitched. "Stop," she whispered desperately. "Don't drag him into—" "Oh, but he's already in it," her uncle interrupted, chuckling. "He put himself in it the moment he walked into that little bakery of yours." Adam didn't flinch. "If you have a problem," he said calmly, "you deal with me. Leave Lila out of it." Her uncle tapped the side of his car. "And why would I do that?" "Because she has nothing to do with your business," Adam replied. The man lifted a single eyebrow. "Everything is business, Mr. Whitlock." The car engine purred softly as he spoke again, voice dropping into something colder, sharper. "Your family's acquisition of the Carver properties, your father's sudden interest in expanding into my part of the state. Lila disappearing just weeks later," he chuckled. "Don't you see the pattern?" Adam's jaw clenched. "My father's business decisions have nothing to do with her." "Don't they?" Her uncle tilted his head. "Someone is lying to you, Mr. Whitlock. The question is, who?" Lila's knees buckled. "Adam, it's not what it sounds like." He turned to her gently. "I believe you." Her uncle smirked. "Touching. Truly." Matthew stepped forward again. "We're leaving. Now." But the moment he moved, 3 men stepped out from behind the sedan, tall, solid, clearly bodyguards. The alley suddenly felt 5 feet wide. "Going somewhere?" her uncle asked casually. Lila grabbed Matthew's sleeve. Adam reached instinctively for her other hand, and the moment their fingers met, she felt a flicker of safety in the storm. Her uncle stepped out of the car at last, smoothing his jacket with eerie calm. "I don't need to hurt any of you," he said. "In fact, I'd prefer not to. All I want," he paused, eyes settling on Lila with chilling affection, "is for my niece to come home. She has responsibilities to fulfill." Lila's breath caught. "No," she whispered. "Not again." Adam looked at her sharply. "Again?" Her uncle smiled. "Ah, so he doesn't know. Secrets make reunions so much more dramatic." Adam put himself fully between Lila and the approaching men. "If you come any closer," he warned, "my security team will be here in a minute." The uncle shrugged. "Then I suppose I'd better hurry." He raised 2 fingers. A signal. The men stepped forward. Lila gasped. Matthew tensed. And Adam braced himself. When suddenly, a loud, sharp voice echoed down the alley. "Drop your weapons. Now." They all turned. At the far entrance of the alley stood a woman in a sleek navy suit, badge raised, expression fierce. Lila felt the world tilt. Her uncle's smile evaporated. "Lila Bennett," the agent called, "we need you to come with us. We've been looking for you." The alley fell into stunned silence. Adam turned to Lila, voice barely a whisper. "Lila, why is the FBI looking for you?" Her uncle chuckled darkly. "Oh, Adam," he said, "you have no idea who you've fallen for." For a moment, the alley seemed to freeze in time. The FBI agent's voice still echoed off the brick walls, but Lila barely heard it. Her breath hitched, her chest tightened, and her mind raced with a single desperate thought. Not again. Not like this. Adam stood rooted beside her, torn between stepping closer and stepping back, unsure which direction would help her more. "Lila," he murmured, searching her face, "whatever this is, you can tell me." She opened her mouth, but no words came, because she didn't even know where to begin. Her uncle scoffed. "Of course the feds show up now. Perfect timing. As usual." The agent stepped forward, her posture confident, eyes sharp. "All of you, hands where I can see them." Matthew immediately complied, pulling Lila with him. Adam raised his hands a moment later. Her uncle, however, leaned casually against his sedan as if this were a mildly irritating interruption. "Agent Rhodes," he drawled, "I see you still enjoy dramatic entrances." She didn't even look at him. "My orders are to retrieve Lila Bennett." Adam felt Lila flinch beside him. He turned slightly, his voice low enough for her alone. "Do you trust her?" Lila swallowed hard. "I don't know." Agent Rhodes stepped closer, lowering her voice without softening it. "Lila, you need to come with us now. You're a federal witness. You disappear again, and we may not find you next time." Adam's head snapped toward Lila. "A witness?" Matthew stepped defensively in front of her. "You told us to lie low. That's what we've been doing." "And you vanished," Rhodes shot back. "We lost contact. Which puts Lila at risk and compromises our entire case." Lila felt her pulse pounding. "I didn't mean to disappear," she whispered. "We were trying to stay ahead of him." Her uncle placed a hand over his heart with exaggerated offense. "Lila, I'm hurt." Rhodes glared at him. "You're coming with us too, Mr. Hale." He grinned, unbothered. "Am I?" 2 more agents slipped into the alley from behind Rhodes, confirming her tone was no bluff. But Lila noticed something Rhodes didn't. Her uncle's bodyguards had shifted. Just slightly. A step back. A quiet, almost imperceptible signal. They were preparing something. "Rhodes," Lila said sharply, "watch there." Before she could finish, the loud crack of a smoke grenade exploded in the alley. A cloud of thick white smoke billowed out, swallowing everything in an instant. Lila coughed, eyes burning. "Adam." "I'm here," he called back, reaching for her hand. Their fingers brushed. But then someone shoved her from behind. She stumbled forward, falling into strong arms. Her uncle's. "Time to go," he muttered, dragging her backward through the smoke. "No. Let me, Adam," she screamed, twisting violently. Through the haze she saw a silhouette, Adam, pushing forward, hand outstretched. "Lila!" "Adam!" she cried. But her uncle tightened his grip, pulling her toward the sedan as engines roared to life. "Stop, please, don't," she begged. She heard Rhodes shouting orders, footsteps scattering, the chaos echoing around her. For a split second, the smoke thinned. Just enough for her to see Adam break through, running after her with wild, desperate determination. Their eyes locked, one burning with fear, the other with unwavering resolve. "Lila," he yelled. "Adam," she cried back. And then, a car door slammed. The sedan shot forward. Adam lunged, but too late. Lila's face pressed against the window, tears streaking down her cheeks as the alley sped away. "Adam!" she screamed. He sprinted after the car with everything he had, every muscle strained, every breath sharp. But the sedan rounded the corner and vanished. Adam stopped, chest heaving, fists shaking, heart splintering. Behind him, Agent Rhodes emerged from the smoke, coughing. "Mr. Whitlock," she said urgently, "you need to listen to me. There's something you don't know about Lila's family." Adam didn't turn. He kept his eyes locked on the corner where she'd disappeared. "Then tell me," he said, voice low and dangerous, "because I'm going to get her back." Rhodes hesitated, then spoke the words Adam never expected to hear. "Lila isn't just a witness. She's the key to uncovering one of the largest financial crimes in the state. And if her uncle has her now—" Adam's jaw tightened. "She may not have long." Adam's fists clenched, his knuckles whitening as he stared down the street where Lila had disappeared. Every rational thought screamed that she could be gone forever. Every heartbeat screamed that he wouldn't let that happen. Agent Rhodes cleared her throat, snapping him back. "Mr. Whitlock, listen. You cannot go in there alone. It's dangerous. Her uncle is connected. He's powerful. Lila's life, it's on the line." Adam didn't flinch. "I don't care. She's not just some person to protect. She's—" His voice cracked slightly and he swallowed hard. "She's everything to me. And I'm not letting him take her." Rhodes studied him carefully. "I've seen men do crazy things for love. But this? You're not just up against a powerful man, you're up against a whole network. You go in there alone, and you won't even get a chance to say goodbye." Adam's jaw tightened. "I don't need a chance to say goodbye. I need a chance to save her." Rhodes sighed, then nodded. "Fine. But you're not going alone." She pressed a button on her earpiece, and two agents appeared from the shadows. They were lean, fast, professional. Not security guards. Real FBI operatives. Adam glanced at them, then at the street corner where Lila's sedan had vanished. "We move fast. And quietly. I just need to see her. Just to make sure she's safe." Rhodes raised an eyebrow. "You've got a lot of confidence for a man who doesn't know the terrain." "I don't need terrain," Adam said. "I just need her." Meanwhile, somewhere on the outskirts of the city, Lila sat in the back of the sedan. Her uncle's hand gripped her shoulder, firm but not unkind. "Lila," he said softly, "you've been protected all these years. But now, you must understand. You're not just my niece. You're my leverage." Lila shook her head. "I'm not leverage. I'm a person. And I'm not going anywhere with you." Her uncle's expression darkened slightly, but there was a hint of sadness in his eyes. "You think you have a choice, child? You've been running your whole life. And running is exactly what brought us here." She pressed her forehead against the window, trying to gather her thoughts. And then she thought of Adam, his laughter, his determination, the way he made her mornings feel like magic. Her stomach flipped. He would come for her. He had to. And she knew, deep down, she couldn't run from him, or from what was about to come. Back on the street, Adam led the team to the last location he had tracked. Every step was calculated, every corner scanned. Then, faintly, he heard it, an engine. The sound of a sedan. His pulse raced. "That's her," he whispered. Agent Rhodes nodded. "Stay calm. We go in on my mark. Don't do anything stupid. Adam's gaze hardened. Nothing stupid. Just getting her back. The sedan turned a corner. There she was, framed in the back window, looking at him with wide, tearful eyes. Adam sprinted forward, heart pounding louder than the engine. But then, the car skidded to a sudden stop in front of another vehicle. Lila's uncle stepped out, blocking the street. Adam skidded to a halt, breathless. Let her go. The uncle smiled thinly. Ah, Mr. Whitlock, you've come all this way for a smile. But some smiles come at a price. Adam's jaw tightened. I'll pay any price. The uncle's smile widened. Oh, I'm counting on it. A long silence stretched across the street. The engines hummed. Lila's eyes darted between Adam and her uncle. And then, suddenly, a shot rang out. Everyone froze. Adam dove toward the sedan. Lila screamed. The world exploded into chaos. And in the middle of it, Adam realized one terrifying truth. This wasn't just about protecting Lila. It was about surviving the night and discovering just how far her uncle was willing to go to control her. The gunshot cracked through the night air, sharp and sudden, and Adam's heart nearly stopped. He dove to the ground instinctively, rolling toward the sedan. Smoke from the tires skid mingled with the fading fog of the earlier grenade, making the world around him a blur of shadows and noise. Lila screamed from inside the car. Adam's hand reached through the open window, catching hers. She grabbed it like a lifeline. Hold on, he yelled. I've got you. Her uncle, Hale, stepped toward him, smirk unchanged, but his eyes glittering with menace. Ah, Whitlock, so predictable. Always rushing in to save someone who doesn't belong to you. Adam's gaze locked on Lila. She belongs with me, and I'm not letting you take her. Matthew appeared at his side, glaring at Hale. Back off. Hale chuckled. Your loyalty is admirable, Matthew. But loyalty doesn't win battles. Power does. Before Adam could respond, another vehicle screeched to a stop behind Hale's sedan. Out jumped Agent Rhodes and her two operatives, guns raised, ready to intervene. Adam knew they weren't here to play nice. They were trained to neutralize threats, but his focus never wavered from Lila. Hale's eyes narrowed. Federal agents. How convenient. Lila's voice trembled as she spoke from the car. Adam, be careful. He squeezed her hand. Always. Just trust me, Lila. Rhodes yelled, move now. Get her out of the car. Adam didn't hesitate. With Matthew flanking him, he yanked open the back door of the sedan. Hale lunged, but Adam pivoted, twisting and pushing with every ounce of strength. Lila scrambled out, stumbling into Adam's arms. Relief washed over him, but he didn't lower his guard. Hale's eyes darkened. You think this ends tonight? Hale growled. She is mine by law and by blood. You will regret this. Adam tightened his grip on Lila's hand. No. Tonight, it ends your control over her. Suddenly, Hale reached for something in his jacket, a flash of metal. Adam! Lila screamed. Adam reacted faster than thought, shoving Lila behind him just as Hale fired. The bullet shattered the sedan's rear window. Agent Rhodes and her team sprang forward, tackling Hale to the ground. Matthew helped pin him as the agents disarmed him. The moment felt like a pause in time, danger hanging in the air, but Lila safe for the first time in months. Adam exhaled, his body trembling. He turned to her, brushing the dust from her hair. Are you okay? Tears welled in her eyes. I am now, she whispered. He smiled softly, his forehead pressing against hers. You're safe. That's all that matters. She laughed nervously, hugging him tightly. You always find me, even when I try to disappear. Adam grinned, brushing a strand of hair from her face. I told you, Lila. I take the same route every morning for you. And I'll go anywhere, do anything, just to see your smile. Her heart swelled, and for a moment, the chaos of the past months melted away. They were just two people, standing together, safe, finally. But then Agent Rhodes' voice cut through the quiet. Whitlock, there's something you need to know. Hale's not working alone. Lila, this network, it's bigger than we thought. And he may not be finished, Adam's smile faltered. He tightened his grip on her hand. Then we face it together. Lila nodded, resting her head against his chest, feeling his heartbeat steady hers. But deep down, both of them knew this was only the beginning. Because the man who wanted to control Lila wasn't finished. And the real danger was still out there, waiting. The night air was thick with tension as Adam led Lila away from the alley, her hands still tightly clasped in his. The city around them hummed obliviously, unaware of the storm that had just passed, and the one that was still coming. "Where are we going?" Lila asked, her voice quiet, trembling between relief and fear. "Somewhere safe," Adam said firmly. "Somewhere we can figure this out without your uncle showing up with another surprise." Matthew fell in step beside them, still tense, eyes darting toward every shadow. Safe is a relative term. Hale has connections everywhere. We can't stay in one place too long. Lila's shoulders slumped. "I just wanted a normal life, mornings at the bakery, seeing you, simple happiness." Her voice broke. "And instead, everything keeps falling apart." Adam squeezed her hand, stopping to look into her eyes. "Simple happiness is worth fighting for. And Lila, I don't care how complicated this gets. I'm not letting anyone take you from me. Ever." For a moment, Lila felt the world pause. The chaos, the fear, the running, it all faded when she looked at him. His eyes held the same warmth she had seen every morning in the bakery, the same steady determination. That made her heart ache. But the moment was broken by a sharp ping in Adam's pocket, his phone lighting up with a message. He glanced at it, and his face hardened. "What is it?" Lila asked, sensing the change in him. Adam swallowed. Hale wasn't acting alone. "This network, it goes higher than we thought. Someone's already tracking us." Her stomach dropped. "Tracking us? But how?" "Technology, surveillance, and someone who knows Hale's every move. We can't go back to the apartment. Not tonight. Not ever." Matthew muttered under his breath, tension coiling in his voice. "Then we keep moving. Every street, every turn. No routine. No pattern. We stay ghosts until we find out who's behind this." Adam nodded, determination flaring. "And we protect you. I don't care what it takes." Lila felt tears prick her eyes, but this time, they weren't just fear, they were gratitude. And a glimmer of hope. They slipped into the night, weaving through back streets and deserted alleys, shadows among shadows. For the first time in months, Lila felt Adam's presence as a shield, steady and unyielding. But even as they moved, a shadowy figure watched from the rooftop above, phone in hand, sending updates to someone far away. Someone whose motives were darker than Hale's. Lila shivered. "Adam, do you think we'll ever get a chance to be normal?" Adam lifted her chin gently, their eyes locking. "Normal is overrated. But happiness is worth everything. And I'll find a way to give it to you, Lila. I promise." Her lips trembled into a small, exhausted smile. "I hope you're right." Above them, the shadowy figure smiled grimly. "Oh, he's right. But the game is far from over." And in that moment, Adam, Lila, and Matthew had no idea. The Real chase was just beginning. The city lights blurred as Adam, Lila, and Matthew moved through quiet streets, always a step ahead of the invisible threat. Lila clung to Adam's arm, finding comfort in his steady presence. Every few blocks, he would glance over his shoulder, scanning the shadows, calculating their next move. "Where are we going?" Lila whispered again, her voice shaky but determined. "Somewhere we can catch our breath," Adam replied. "Then we figure out who's after you, and why." Matthew's jaw was tight. Hale's network isn't just about him. There are people embedded in businesses, law enforcement, even private security. If we're not careful, we won't know who to trust. Lila swallowed hard, her mind racing. "Then, how do we even start?" Adam's gaze softened as he looked down at her. "We start by sticking together. We face this step by step. I promise you, I won't let anything happen to you." For a moment, Lila allowed herself to breathe. The fear hadn't gone away, but there was something else now, hope. Hope that Adam would be her anchor, that together they could survive whatever came next. They ducked into a dimly lit parking garage. Adam pressed a finger to his lips. We can't risk being seen. Everyone in Hale's network knows what he wants. We're going to lie low here for a few hours, plan our next move. Lila nodded, glancing at him nervously. I don't know how you do it. You stay calm, even when everything is falling apart. Adam shook his head, a faint smile tugging at his lips. I'm not calm. I'm terrified. I'm just terrified for you. And that's what keeps me moving. Matthew muttered, he's crazy. But even he couldn't hide the relief in his eyes. For a few precious hours, they rested. Lila leaned against Adam, letting herself finally relax. She closed her eyes and let the warmth of his presence calm her frayed nerves. But the peace was short-lived. Adam's phone buzzed silently in his pocket. He pulled it out and froze. Adam? Lila asked. He didn't answer immediately, scrolling through the message. Then he looked up, his expression darkening. It's Hale, he said quietly. He knows where we are. And he's not coming alone. Lila's stomach dropped. What do you mean? How? Adam cut her off. It doesn't matter. What matters is we move, now. They raced back into the streets, weaving through alleys, ducking behind cars, staying in the shadows. Every corner felt like a trap. Every passing car could be watching. As they rounded the final street, a black SUV skidded to a halt in front of them. Lila's breath caught. Hale stepped out of the vehicle, flanked by two imposing figures. But this time, he wasn't smiling. You just don't get it, do you? He snarled. You think running will save her. You think he will let you win. Adam stepped forward, shielding Lila. She's not yours to control. Hale's eyes flicked to her, then back to Adam. She's always been mine, and now, she's the key. The key to everything I've built, and everything you've tried to destroy. Lila's eyes widened. Key to what? Before anyone could answer, Hale's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, his expression shifting from anger to unease. Adam noticed. What is it? Hale's jaw tightened. It seems someone else is watching. Lila's heart skipped a beat. Someone else? Adam's eyes narrowed. Then we're not just running from him. There's more. Hale glared, clenching his fists. This changes everything. The tension was suffocating. Adam stepped closer to Lila. No matter what happens, we stick together. She nodded, holding his hand tightly. I trust you. Hale's voice cut through the night like a blade. You can trust him all you want, but trust is a dangerous thing when you don't know the whole story. And in the shadows, someone else watched, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Someone whose arrival would turn everything upside down. The night air felt electric as Adam, Lila, and Matthew froze in the dim streetlight, Hale's words echoing in their ears. Someone else was watching. Someone else with far more power, far more reach. Lila's grip tightened on Adam's hand. Adam, I'm scared. Adam pulled her close, lowering his voice. I know. But listen to me, we've gotten this far. And we're not stopping now. We face this together. Matthew muttered, scanning the rooftops. If he's watching, he's not alone. This is bigger than Hale, bigger than anything we've seen. Adam's phone buzzed again. Another message, this time from an unknown number. He opened it. A single line. I see everything. Leave her, or regret it. Lila gasped. Who is it? Adam's jaw tightened. I don't know. But whoever it is, they're serious. And they're close. Before anyone could react, a car engine roared nearby. A sleek, black vehicle came around the corner at high speed. Adam shoved Lila behind him as the car skidded to a halt, tires screeching. The door opened and a figure stepped out, tall, lean, dressed in black. The face was obscured by shadows. Adam's heart raced. Who are you? He demanded. The figure smiled, a cold, calculated smile. Adam Whitlock. Finally we meet. And you must be Lila Bennett. Such a lovely reputation precedes you. Lila instinctively stepped behind Adam, clutching his arm. Stay back, she whispered. The figure tilted their head. Oh, don't worry. I'm not here to hurt her, Not yet. I'm here to make sure she makes the right choice. Adam's eyes narrowed. Choice? What are you talking about? The stranger took a deliberate step forward. You think Hale was the only threat? You think this was ever just about your little bakery mornings? Lila, your life has been a chessboard, and you've been a pawn since birth. Now the real game begins. Matthew stepped protectively in front of Lila. Get away from her. The stranger laughed softly. I see Whitlock men are as stubborn as they say. Charming, but reckless. Exactly why this is going to be interesting. Adam tightened his fists. If you hurt her, if you even try, I swear. The figure raised a hand, letting the threat hang in the air. Try? Adam? I will. And it won't be Hale who decides her fate next time. It'll be me. Lila's heart pounded. She had survived Hale, the threats, the running, but this felt different. Darker. Smarter. More dangerous. Adam leaned down slightly, pressing a hand to her cheek. No matter what comes next, Lila, I won't let anyone control your life. Not him, not this, whatever this is. You're mine to protect. And I promise I will. The figure in black tilted their head, watching the two of them with amusement. Oh, bold words. Bold enough to make a difference? We'll see soon enough. With that, they stepped back, disappearing into the shadows as quietly as they had arrived. The engine of their waiting car roared to life, and the vehicle sped away. The alley fell silent. Lila's breath came in shaky gasps. Adam, who was that? He held her close, chest rising and falling with urgency. I don't know. But they're dangerous. And if they're involved, nothing is going to be simple anymore. Matthew muttered, eyes scanning the dark corners. We need to move. Before whoever that was comes back. Adam nodded, taking a deep breath. We keep going. We stay together. And we find out who's really behind this, before it's too late. Lila clung to him tightly. I'm not letting go. Adam pressed his forehead against hers. Never. Not for a second. But somewhere in the shadows, the stranger watched again, silent, calculating. And in that moment, both Adam and Lila knew one undeniable truth. The Real chase had just begun. The city felt alive with shadows as Adam led Lila and Matthew through narrow streets, ducking into alleys and weaving between the dim glow of streetlights. Every step was calculated, every corner a potential danger. Hale and the mysterious stranger could be anywhere, and the thought made Lila's heart hammer in her chest. Adam's grip on her hand was steady, grounding her in a world that felt suddenly fragile. We'll be safe for now, he murmured. But we need a plan. We can't keep running blindly. Matthew shot a glance at Adam. You really think we can outsmart whoever's behind this? Adam didn't answer immediately. He glanced at Lila, her eyes wide, a mix of fear and determination. His heart clenched. I don't know. But we have to try. And we do it together. They slipped into an abandoned parking garage, its emptiness offering a temporary refuge. Lila sank against a concrete pillar, breathing heavily. I can't believe this is my life, hiding, running, always looking over my shoulder. Adam knelt beside her, brushing a strand of hair from her face. You never deserved this, Lila. You've spent your life trying to protect people who should have been protecting you. Not anymore. From now on I'll be there. Always. Lila's lips trembled as she looked up at him. Even when it's dangerous? Adam's eyes softened, fierce with promise. Especially when it's dangerous. I don't care what comes. You're mine to protect, and I'll find a way to keep you safe. For a moment, the chaos faded. She felt a warmth spread through her, a glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, they could survive this together. But then, Matthew interrupted, voice low and urgent. We don't have much time. Hale won't stay idle. And whoever that stranger is, they're planning their next move. Fast. Adam nodded, already scanning their surroundings. We need a vehicle. A change of clothes. Somewhere they won't think to look. Lila's stomach twisted. And if they find us anyway? Adam pressed a finger gently to her lips. Then we fight. Together. No one's taking you from me. Matthew's phone buzzed. A new message. Adam grabbed it. The text was simple, chilling. You're in my sights. Every move you make will be watched. Stop or she suffers. Lila gasped. They're everywhere. Adam clenched his jaw. Then we disappear. Not tomorrow. Not later. Now. As they moved toward the exit, a shadow flickered across the top of the garage. Lila froze. Fair. Adam whirled, pulling her behind him just as a silenced gunshot rang out. The bullet pinged off the concrete, inches from his head. He growled, scanning the shadows. They've found us already. Matthew tightened his grip on his sister. We need another route. Fast. Adam looked at Lila, his eyes steady, unflinching. Hold on. No matter what happens, I promise. I'm not letting anything happen to you. Not Hale. Not him. Not anyone. Lila swallowed her fear, nodding, clinging to him. I trust you. And in that fleeting moment, amidst the chaos, the adrenaline and the danger, they shared something unspoken, a bond stronger than fear, a promise of protection, and a connection neither Hale nor the shadowy stranger could break. But from the rooftop above, unseen and untraceable, the stranger observed. A quiet smile played across their lips. They think they can outrun me, but the real game is only beginning. The city pulsed with life around them, oblivious to the chase winding through its streets. Adam led Lila and Matthew through back alleys and narrow streets, their footsteps barely audible over the hum of distant traffic. Every corner held the possibility of another shadow, another trap. Lila clutched Adam's arm tightly. Adam, I don't know how you stay so calm, she whispered. Adam gave her a brief smile, though tension tugged at his jaw. I'm not calm, he admitted softly. I'm terrified. Terrified for you. But fear doesn't mean I stop moving forward. Not when it comes to you. Her chest tightened. She wanted to laugh and cry at the same time. You always know the right thing to say. Adam squeezed her hand. I just know the right thing to do. And right now, we run, we survive, and we fight back when the time comes. Matthew's eyes darted nervously around the corners. We can't keep running forever. Whoever's after Lila, they're organized. They'll find us eventually. Adam's gaze hardened. Then we make sure they find the wrong end of their plan. We go on the offensive, but carefully. No mistakes. They ducked into a quiet side street, the neon glow of a closed diner painting long shadows across their path. Lila paused, looking up at Adam. Do you ever wonder if we'll ever have a normal life? Adam knelt slightly to meet her eyes, brushing her hair from her face. I've thought about it, he admitted. Every morning I see your smile, I think, maybe one day. But right now, it's enough to know we survive. That we're together. And that's worth everything. Lila's lips trembled into a small smile, her heart warming despite the fear gnawing at the edges. Together, she echoed. Adam kissed her forehead gently. Always. Suddenly, the sound of tires on gravel cut through the quiet. Adam's eyes snapped to the street ahead. A sleek, black car emerged, moving fast. Lila's pulse raced. They found us, Matthew whispered, tension coiling in his voice. Adam tightened his grip on her hand. Stay close. The car skidded to a stop. The passenger door opened, and a figure emerged, tall, precise, silent. The stranger from before. Adam Whitlock. The figure said, voice smooth, dangerous. And Lila Bennett. How sweet to see you both out and about. Alone. Vulnerable. Lila's stomach twisted. Why me? The stranger smiled, shadows hiding the face. Because, my dear, you've been running from the truth your whole life. And now, it's catching up to you. Adam stepped in front of her, shielding her. We don't want to fight you. Stay back. The stranger tilted their head, amused. Oh, I think you do. That's why I came prepared. Before anyone could react, more figures emerged from the darkness, moving with terrifying coordination, surrounding them. Lila gasped, instinctively pressing closer to Adam. Adam's eyes darkened with determination. No matter what happens, he whispered to her, I'm not letting anyone take you. Not Hale. Not this person. Not anyone. She held his hand tightly. I trust you, she said, her voice fierce despite the fear. The stranger's smile widened. We'll see about that. Suddenly, a flash of movement, a distraction, and Adam seized the moment. Grabbing Lila, he bolted into the alley beside them, Matthew close behind. Footsteps thundered behind them. Shouts echoed. Adam glanced over his shoulder. Keep running. Don't stop. Lila's heart pounded, adrenaline mixing with fear. Yet as she ran, she felt something unshakable, the certainty that Adam would never let her go, no matter what. But somewhere above the rooftops, hidden and watching, the stranger made a silent call. Phase 2, they whispered. Begin. And the night was far from over. The night wrapped around them like a blanket of tension as Adam, Lila, and Matthew sprinted through narrow backstreets. The sounds of their pursuers' footsteps echoed against the brick walls, growing louder with every turn. Lila's hand was clutched tightly in Adam's, and she felt the steady beat of his heart through his chest. Her fear had sharpened every sense, but also made one truth undeniable: she trusted him completely. Adam ducked into an abandoned warehouse, motioning for them to hide behind crates. He pressed his back against the wall, eyes scanning every shadow. We can't stay here long. But we need to regroup, plan our next move. Lila crouched beside him, her chest heaving. Adam, why me? Why all this? I just wanted a simple life. Adam brushed a strand of hair from her face, his gaze unwavering. Because no one deserves this. And because I can't imagine a life where I don't protect you. You're worth more than fear, Lila. More than danger. More than anything in this city. Her lips trembled, and she let out a small laugh mixed with a sob. You always know the right words. Adam shook his head gently. I don't. I just know the truth. I can't let anything happen to you. Not Hale. Not whoever else is involved. Not anyone. Matthew, still scanning their surroundings, muttered, We don't have time for poetry. They're organized and we're running out of options. Adam nodded, already formulating a plan. Then we need a new route, a place they won't expect. Somewhere we can be invisible. Suddenly, Lila froze. Her eyes widened as she stared at a dark corner of the warehouse. Adam, look. From the shadows, a figure stepped forward, silent, purposeful. The stranger who had threatened them before. Good evening, Adam. Lila, the figure said, voice smooth, almost playful. We meet again. I see you're trying to hide. Adam stepped protectively in front of Lila. We're not hiding. You're not taking her. The stranger smiled, tilting their head. Oh, I'm not taking her to the... I just want to show her the truth. Lila, you've been running all your life, but some things you can't run from. Lila's breath caught. What truth? The stranger's smile widened. Your family's past. Your father's secrets. The reason you were always a target, and why Hale has been so obsessed with you. Soon, you'll understand everything. And then, the real choice will be yours. Adam's jaw tightened. Leave her out of your games. The stranger's eyes glinted. I don't play games. I deal in reality. And reality, Mr. Whitlock, is far more complicated than your bakery mornings and smiles. Lila's fingers dug into Adam's arm. Adam, I'm scared. He pressed a hand to her cheek. I know, but I'm here, boys. And we face it together. The stranger's smile faded, replaced by something colder. Enjoy this moment, Adam. The next time we meet, it won't be so romantic. With that, the figure melted back into the shadows, leaving only the echo of their words and a growing sense of dread. Lila leaned against Adam, whispering, I don't want to run anymore. Adam held her tightly, determination flaring in his eyes. We're not just running. We're fighting. And I promise we'll survive this. Together. But as they moved deeper into the city, unaware, cameras hidden in streetlights captured every step. Phones pinged messages to unknown contacts. The stranger had already begun phase 2. And the real danger, the one neither Adam nor Lila could see, was about to descend. The city seemed alive with danger as Adam, Lila, and Matthew moved through the dimly lit streets, every shadow feeling like it could hide a threat. Lila's fingers were entwined with Adam's, a lifeline in the chaos. "They're not just after me," Lila whispered, her voice trembling. I think it's about my family. Something my father left behind." Adam's jaw tightened. "Then we find out. Tonight. No more running blind." Matthew groaned. "You make it sound so easy. Whoever's after her, they're smart, organized, and dangerous." Adam stopped, scanning the street ahead. "All the more reason we stick together." "Lila, look at me." She raised her gaze, meeting his. "I'm scared." "I know," he said, brushing a loose strand of hair from her face. "And I promise, nothing will hurt you while I'm standing here. You're not alone anymore." A sudden movement caught their attention. A sleek black van glided silently around the corner. Its windows were tinted, but Adam felt the eyes inside on them. "They're here," Matthew muttered. The van stopped, and the doors slid open. Out stepped several figures dressed in black, moving with precision. At the front was the stranger, tall, commanding, a presence that made Lila's stomach twist. "You've been busy, haven't you?" the stranger said, voice calm and deadly. "Running, hiding, thinking you could escape reality." Adam stepped in front of Lila, shielding her instinctively. "We're not hiding. And we're not afraid of you." The stranger smiled faintly. "Oh, you should be. Not of me, but of the truth you've never faced. Lila, your father's work, your inheritance, everything you thought was ordinary? But secrets. And now, it's all catching up." Lila's eyes widened. "What are you talking about?" The stranger gestured to the van. "Step inside. I'll show you the truth. And then, you'll have a choice. Stay with the life you know, or embrace the one waiting for you." Adam's grip on Lila's hand tightened. "You're not taking her anywhere." The stranger's eyes narrowed. "Try me. But know this, everyone has a price. Everyone has a weakness. And tonight, your weakness is already exposed." Suddenly, figures in black moved toward them from both sides, encircling them. Adam assessed the situation, heart pounding. There was no way to fight them all, not head-on. He glanced at Lila. "Listen to me. No matter what happens, stay close. Trust me. I'll get us out." Lila nodded, swallowing her fear. "I trust you." With a swift motion, Adam grabbed her hand and bolted toward a nearby alley. Matthew followed closely, pushing anyone in their way. The stranger's voice followed them, calm and terrifying. "Run all you want, but the truth will find you. And when it does, everything changes." Adam didn't look back. He sprinted with every ounce of strength, feeling Lila's heartbeat against his side. Somewhere behind them, the stranger watched, smiling faintly. Phase 2 has begun. And in the darkness, Lila realized something terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. Her life was about to change forever. Adam led Lila and Matthew through the labyrinthine backstreets, the city lights casting long shadows across the concrete. Every footstep, every sound, felt amplified in the still night. "They're fast," Matthew muttered, glancing nervously behind them. "We can't keep this up forever." Adam's eyes scanned the rooftops above. "Then we make the rooftops our advantage. We stay out of the streets. We use the height. Quick thinking and speed, that's our edge." Lila's grip tightened around Adam's arm. "Rooftops? Adam, are you serious?" He offered her a reassuring smile. "Dead serious. It's safer than the streets right now. Trust me. And we need a plan to learn the truth about your past while staying ahead." Matthew sighed but followed. "I don't like heights." Adam chuckled lightly, though the tension in his eyes remained. "Then hang on tight." They approached an abandoned building with fire escapes leading to the roof. Adam quickly assessed the path, then gestured for Lila and Matthew to follow. Up they climbed, each step bringing them higher and farther from the threat below. Once on the roof, Adam paused, pulling Lila close. "Look at me," he said softly. "No matter what happens, I won't let anyone hurt you. Not Hale. Not the stranger. Not anyone." Lila's eyes shimmered with tears, but she nodded. "I trust you, Adam." He pressed his forehead to hers. "But because we're about to see just how dangerous this night really is, and why your life has been anything but ordinary. They crouched low as figures appeared on neighboring rooftops, Hale's men and the stranger's operatives moving silently, closing in from both sides. Adam's gaze hardened. They're organized, coordinated. But coordinated doesn't mean unstoppable. He led them across the roofs, leaping gaps with precision, holding Lila's hand the entire way. Her heartbeat matched his, a fierce rhythm of fear and trust. Suddenly, a gust of wind made her stumble. Adam caught her instantly. "Got you," he murmured, eyes locking on hers. Lila blushed, her lips parting in a small, nervous smile. "You always save me." "I always will," he whispered back, brushing a strand of hair from her face. They reached the edge of one roof just as Hale's operatives closed in. The stranger stepped out of the shadows, now visible, their expression unreadable. "Adam Whitlock, Lila Bennett, welcome to the real game. You're about to see why your life has been prepared for this moment." Lila swallowed hard. "Prepared? I don't understand." Adam pressed a hand to her back. "You will. But first, we survive tonight. Then, we uncover the truth." The stranger's eyes glinted. "Phase 2, in motion. And this time, the pieces will fall where I want them to." Adam didn't flinch. "We'll see about that." And in the tense silence that followed, as the wind swept across the rooftops, Lila realized something. She wasn't just running anymore. She was fighting, alongside the man she trusted most, the man whose smile had always made her mornings brighter, and whose presence now made her believe she could survive anything. Above, the city watched, unaware. But the real danger was closer than ever. The wind whipped across the rooftops, tugging at Lila's hair and the edges of Adam's coat. Her heart pounded, not just from fear, but from the unshakable certainty that whatever came next, Adam would protect her. Adam crouched beside her, eyes scanning the rooftops. "They're everywhere," he murmured, his voice low but firm. "Hale's men, the stranger, they're coordinated. But that doesn't mean they can catch us if we stay unpredictable." Lila's voice trembled. I don't understand any of this. My father, my family, everything I thought I knew." Adam reached out, tilting shadows, closing in from. Tilting her chin gently so she met his gaze. "You're not alone in this. And I promise, we'll uncover the truth together. Whatever it is, we face it as a team." Her lips parted in a small, shaky smile. "A team, with you?" He gave her a faint smile back, brushing her hair from her face. "Always." Suddenly, from the shadows of the adjacent rooftop, a figure moved, a flicker of black, fast and precise. The stranger had anticipated their escape. "Adam Whitlock." "Lila Bennett," the stranger called out, voice calm but menacing. "Welcome to the moment of truth. You're about to see why your life has been anything but ordinary, Lila." Lila's stomach twisted. "Why me? Why now?" The stranger's eyes gleamed. "Because your father's secrets are the key to everything. And it's time you finally understood them. Tonight, you don't just run, you choose." Adam stepped in front of her, protective. "You don't get to make any choices for her. Not you, not Hale, not anyone." The stranger smiled faintly. "Choices are what make life interesting. Some people survive them. Others." Before anyone could react, several operatives emerged from the shadows, closing in from multiple directions. Adam's eyes scanned the rooftops. "Lila, stay close. No matter what happens, don't let go." Matthew moved beside them, muttering, "This is insane. How many of them are there?" Adam didn't answer. He grabbed Lila's hand and took a running leap across a gap to the next rooftop. She stumbled slightly, but he caught her immediately, steadying her. "Got you," he said. Their pursuers mirrored them, moving with frightening precision. The chase escalated, jumping from rooftop to rooftop, the city lights below flickering past in streaks. Lila's heart raced, adrenaline mixing with the strange, electrifying closeness of Adam beside her. At one point, Adam stopped on a wide ledge, pulling Lila behind a low wall. "We need to catch our breath. And then, we get the answers you deserve." Lila pressed her forehead to his chest, feeling the rapid beat of his heart. Whatever happens, I trust you. Always. Adam's lips brushed her hair. And I'll never stop protecting you. You're my reason, Lila. Always. Above them, the stranger watched silently from a rooftop, eyes glinting with calculation. They're closer than I thought, and still, they have no idea what's coming next. Phase 2 is just the beginning. Lila shivered, feeling the tension, the fear, and a warmth that came from being held by Adam, the man who had turned her mornings into magic. And in that moment, amidst the danger, the running, and the secrets waiting to be uncovered, one truth was clear. No matter what came, they would face it together. The night hung heavy over the city, punctuated by the distant hum of traffic and the wind rushing between buildings. Adam, Lila, and Matthew crouched behind a low wall atop the rooftop, catching their breath. Adam's eyes narrowed as he scanned the rooftops across the street. The stranger had vanished from view, but Adam could feel them watching, calculating, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. "We can't stay here," Adam muttered. "We need to confront this head-on. Find out what Lila's father left behind, and why Hale and this stranger are obsessed with her." Lila's voice trembled, but she nodded. "I'm ready. I want to know. Even if it's scary." Adam reached for her hand. "I'm right here. We face it together." Matthew muttered, "You're crazy. But fine. Let's do this." From the shadows of the adjacent rooftop, the stranger appeared again, stepping forward into the moonlight. Their face remained partially obscured, but there was a sharpness in their gaze that made Lila's stomach twist. "Adam Whitlock." "Lila Bennett," the stranger said smoothly. "You've been running for months, but running doesn't solve anything. Lila, it's time you saw the truth about your father." Lila's heart pounded. "What truth?" The stranger's eyes gleamed. "Your father was part of something bigger than you ever imagined. His work, his secrets, they've placed you in danger your whole life. Hale isn't the threat you should fear most." Adam's hand tightened around hers. "We'll see about that. We're not afraid of you, or Hale." The stranger tilted their head. Bravery. So touching. But tonight, bravery will be tested. You will see things, truths that will change everything you think you know about your life. With a swift motion, the stranger activated a small device, projecting a holographic image into the air between them. Lila gasped. It was a series of documents, maps, and photographs, all connected to her father. The images revealed hidden accounts, mysterious transfers, and meetings with figures she had never heard of. Her voice trembled. This is all my father? Why didn't anyone tell me?" The stranger's voice was calm, almost soothing. "Because the knowledge was dangerous. And now, it's in your hands." Adam stepped closer, shielding her from the stranger's view. "We'll handle it. Together." Lila looked up at him, fear and trust battling in her eyes. "Adam, I'm scared. But I believe in you." Adam pressed his forehead to hers, whispering, "I won't let anything happen to you. Not Hale. Not them. Not anyone. We'll get through this together." The stranger smiled faintly, retreating to the shadows. "Enjoy your moment. It won't last. Phase 2 is only beginning." As the figures vanished into the night, Lila clung to Adam, feeling the warmth of his presence steady her racing heart. For the first time in months, she felt something stronger than fear, hope, trust, and the undeniable bond between them. But high above, unseen, Hale's men regrouped, and the stranger contacted a hidden network. The game was far from over. And somewhere in the city, the pieces were moving toward a confrontation that would change everything for Adam, Lila, and the secrets they were about to uncover. The hologram winked out, leaving the rooftop bathed only in moonlight. The sudden quiet made Lila's pulse sound like thunder in her ears. Adam kept his arm firmly around her, anchoring her to something steady, something safe. Matthew peeked over the ledge. "They're gone. For now. But they'll be back, Adam. I know that look. You're already thinking ahead." Adam didn't deny it. His jaw was tight, his expression hard with determination. "We need answers. And we're not getting them by waiting for Hale or that stranger to ambush us again. Lila swallowed. Then where do we start? Adam turned to her gently. With your father's files. The ones he left behind before he disappeared. Her breath caught. You know where they are? Adam nodded. Your mom didn't tell you everything. She didn't want you involved. I know where he hid the originals. Lila felt a tremor of fear mixed with something else. My mom knew? Why would she hide something so important from me? Adam's voice softened. Because she was trying to protect you. Your father, he wasn't just an engineer. He was part of something far bigger. Something dangerous. Lila stared down at her hands. I don't understand any of this. Adam touched her cheek lightly, tipping her face up. You will. I promise. And you won't face it alone. She leaned into his palm, her voice barely a whisper. I don't want to. Before Adam could respond, Matthew hissed, guys? We need to move. Like now. From the street below, black SUVs began sliding into position. Quiet, coordinated, too familiar. Hale's pattern. Adam's expression sharpened. We've got to get off this roof before they surround the block. He grabbed Lila's hand, tugging her toward a metal access door. They bolted down the stairwell, their footsteps echoing off the concrete walls. The air smelled of dust and old rainwater, but Lila didn't care. She only cared about the warmth of Adam's hand wrapped around hers, the strength in his stride. They reached the bottom floor of the building just as headlights swept across the windows. Adam pressed a finger to his lips and eased open a side exit. The three of them slipped out into a narrow alleyway, shielded from view. Adam exhaled. We need to split up to throw them off. Lila reacted instantly. No, she gripped his arm. I'm not leaving you. He cupped her face in both hands, his forehead coming to rest against hers. Lila, I'll never let you go. But right now, I need them looking for the wrong trail. Her voice shook. Adam. His thumb brushed her cheek in a slow, reassuring motion. Hey, look at me. She did. You're stronger than you think. And I'm coming back for you. Always do. You're the reason I take that same route every morning. You're the reason all of this matters. Her heart clenched. Please be careful. He gave her that soft, rare smile, one he only ever showed her. I will. Because I have something worth coming back to. For a moment, they just stood there, breathing the same air, hearts beating in the same frantic rhythm. Then Matthew cleared his throat. I hate to break up the moment, but the goons with earpieces are getting closer. Reluctantly, Adam stepped back, but he didn't break eye contact with Lila until the absolute last second. Stay with Matthew. Get to the safe house. I'll meet you there. Lila nodded, though every part of her wanted to cling to him. Okay. Adam slipped away into the darkness just as the SUVs rounded the corner. Lila felt her chest tighten with a mix of fear and something much deeper, something terrifying to admit, but impossible to ignore. Matthew tugged her sleeve. Come on. We've got to move. Lila forced her legs to run, her heart pounding with every step. But as she and Matthew emerged onto the next street, something made her stop cold. A figure was standing under a street lamp. The stranger. Their eyes locked with Lila's. And then, slowly, deliberately, the stranger lifted a small device and pressed a button. Instantly, Lila's phone buzzed. She looked down at the screen, and her blood ran cold. A live video feed. Of Adam. Surrounded. Alone. And cornered. The stranger's voice drifted across the empty street, calm and chilling. Phase 2 begins now. Lila's heartbeat roared in her ears as she stared at the live feed on her phone. Adam stood in a dimly lit warehouse, alone, surrounded by Hale's men, and held at gunpoint. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't running. He was waiting. For her. The stranger stepped closer, their face finally visible in the streetlight. A woman with sharp eyes, steady posture, and a calm intensity that made Lila shiver. You want the truth? The stranger said. Then you must face it. Your father left everything to you, because only you can finish what he started. Lila's voice cracked. I don't care about documents or secrets. I care about Adam. The stranger's expression softened, almost regretful. Then you are exactly who your father hoped you'd be. Matthew whispered urgently, Lila, we need a plan. But she was already stepping forward, her chin lifting with new resolve. No more running. The stranger nodded, as if she'd expected this. But, follow me. The air inside the warehouse was icy, thick with tension. Adam's eyes widened the moment he saw Lila enter. Lila, no, what are you doing? His voice was raw, terrified, an emotion he almost never showed. She didn't break eye contact. I'm not leaving you. Hale stepped forward, his smug expression illuminated by the overhead lights. Touching. Truly. Bennett loyalty runs deep. Lila stepped between Hale's men and Adam, her small frame shielding him. Let him go. You want me? Hale smirked. Correct. You are the key. Your father hid a failsafe only you can unlock. The stranger entered behind her, her voice echoing. Hale, this ends tonight. Hale's eyes narrowed. Ah, Agent Rivera. Still pretending you aren't part of this. Adam tensed. Agent. The stranger, Agent Rivera, didn't look away from Hale. I've been trying to protect Lila. Her father asked me to. The pieces clicked in Lila's mind. Her father hadn't abandoned her. He had been protecting her. Hale raised a device, the warehouse lights flickering ominously. Lila, come here. Activate the failsafe. Or Whitlock dies. Adam's voice tore through the silence. Whatever happens, don't give him anything. Tears stung her eyes. I can't lose you. He took a breath, steadied himself. You won't. Trust me, the way I trust you. She felt something ignite inside her, strength she didn't know she had. Lila turned to Hale. No. Hale blinked. No. She stepped closer to Adam, taking his hand. My father didn't leave me a key. He left me a choice. Agent Rivera smiled faintly. That's right. And suddenly, Matthew, who had slipped behind a stack of crates, cut the warehouse power. Darkness. Shuts. Scrambling. Agent Rivera barked. Move. Adam grabbed Lila, pulling her behind him just as the first gunshot cracked through the dark. But it wasn't aimed at them. Rivera's team stormed the warehouse, neutralizing Hale's men with swift precision. Hale tried to run, but Rivera herself tackled him, pinning him to the floor. Within minutes, it was over. Lights flickered back on. Hale was in cuffs. The warehouse was secured. Lila stood frozen, trembling, not from fear, but from the enormity of everything that had just happened. Adam stepped close, lifting her chin gently. You okay? She nodded shakily. Are you? He let out a breath, then pulled her into his arms, holding her as if he'd never let go again. I am now. She melted against him, feeling the steady beat of his heart beneath her cheek. I thought I lost you, she whispered. I'd walk into 100 traps before I'd ever let that happen, he murmured into her hair. Lila, you're my everything. I took the same route every morning just to see your smile. And I'll spend the rest of my life making sure I don't miss it. Her breath hitched. Adam. He pulled back enough to look into her eyes, really look. And in his, she saw every unspoken word, every moment they'd lived, every feeling he'd tried to hide. I love you, Lila. Her tears broke free, but she was smiling. I love you too. He leaned his forehead to hers, exhaling shakily, as if finally, he could breathe again. Behind them, Agent Rivera approached quietly. Your father would be proud, Lila. Lila nodded. Thank you, for everything. Rivera gave a small smile. Your father left you one last message. I'll deliver it when you're ready. Lila blinked. A message? Rivera nodded once. But it can wait until tomorrow. Tonight, you deserve peace. Adam slipped his hand into Lila's. Tomorrow can wait. Lila leaned into him, letting him guide her toward the exit, Matthew trailing behind, muttering that he never wanted another night like this as long as he lived. Adam held Lila close as they stepped out into the gentle glow of dawn. The first sunlight of morning stretched across the city, the same morning light in which he had first noticed her smile. Let's go home, he whispered. She squeezed his hand. With you, I already am. And together, they walked into the new day, safe, together, and ready for whatever came next.